Fortunately, I figured it out, and I'm an idiot for not knowing this before. You learn the hard way sometimes. What's going on, guys? Aloha, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my little piece of paradise I call the Lonestar Hawaiian garage, where we make a lot of mistakes and try to correct them before I destroy the world. Now, we are 4 tires less occupied right now. Specifically, the laundry room is now 4 tires less occupied. We did find a buyer for those. If you remember back, we put those up for sale, the OEM Trail Boss wheels and tires. And what's cool is the gentleman that's actually buying them right now reached out to me weeks ago before they were even off of the Trail Boss. And cool enough, I was hoping he'd be the one to get them, and he is. And we're gonna head down to an undisclosed location, also known as Dick's Sporting Goods, and get him these new wheels and tires for his truck. And then we'll get back here and tell you guys what I totally screwed up on the Trail Boss. You learn the hard way sometimes. There we are. All right, guys, I want you to meet someone. Hey. What's up, Brian?
Nice to meet you guys.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
So Brian's got a 2009 Silverado that he's dropping the Trail Boss wheels on. We just kind of put them up to the side. That's gonna look sweet.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
So 2009, it's got the 5.3.
5.3 liter.
Makes me want to start working on the 07 again.
2-inch leveling kit in the front. I wanted to put like a bigger tire setup on the Trail Boss.
So these are like, they're just over 32 inches. Those are 35s, obviously. Those are massive.
Yeah, I kind of want to go with 35, but I know I'm gonna have to lift it a little bit higher.
Brian, well, hey, great to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
too.
for driving out. He drove all the way out from like South Dallas, all the way out here. So big thank you, big mahalos. We are set. It's a nice truck. That thing's gonna look sweet with those Trail Boss wheels. I'll show you guys a picture once he sends it to me. He has some big plans for that thing. I'm stoked for him. Brian, absolute pleasure to meet you, man. Good luck with your truck. It's gonna last forever. Trust me, that 5.3 will just keep going and going and going. I gotta run to Walmart and get some groceries because dad life. Oh my goodness. Guys, if you missed the last video, you missed out pretty decently because we've kind of restructured the garage a little bit. Paradise Cove has changed quite a bit because we had a massive upgrade with a brand new toolbox. Guys, we upgraded big time. I am blown away at how freaking cool this is and how good everything looks and how functional and efficient I can be now that everything is relatively organized versus what it was previously in my little Kapuna toolbox, which is not gone anywhere, guys. This is the toolbox my grandfather, my Kapuna, gave me when he passed away. This will be with me, I guarantee, forever. But all his old screwdrivers and stuff. It's just really cool to have. There's things that he used for decades. Yeah, this is something special for me. Now, speaking of generations, but wait, there's more. So guys, welcome back to this little garage. Yeah, so we have an issue with the Trail Boss. Fortunately, I figured it out, and I am an idiot for not knowing this before. All right, so if you haven't been around the last couple of videos, let me bring you up to speed here. Number 1 is our lift kit we installed just a few weeks ago. The ReadyLift SST 2-inch lift kit for the AT4s and Trail Boss. So the Trail Boss in factory is 2 inches higher than the stock Silverado. This pushed an additional 2 inches higher in the front. The rear, we actually didn't touch at all. The 2 inches in the front put the rear and the front perfectly level. And then on top of that, we fit 35 by 12.5 Nitto Ridge grapplers wrapped around HD Pro's HD1 wheel. This is a 20 by 11 with a negative 33 offset. So hopefully that clears up a few questions. Now, here is what I have had to learn the hard way. If you're like me and watching this channel, it's highly likely that you enjoy modifying your vehicles, making it unique and your own. And that's what we are trying to do with the 2020 Trail Boss. Lux HD makes this HD Pro wheel. It's phenomenal looking wheel. But what Lux HD will do, like every other aftermarket wheel company, when they manufacture the wheels, they want to make it relatively universal. Obviously the bolt pattern will be different if you're going from like a Ford to a Chevy. But as far as the center bore, they will typically make this fairly large to fit over multiple hubs. Now the issue I ran into with is how large this center bore is when it's mounted on my stock Silverado hub. There is a large difference in between the edge of the wheel and the edge of the hub, and this is supposed to be sitting directly on the hub. Now, automotive manufacturers build cars from the factory. They'll design the wheel to fit perfectly onto that hub. Now, for example, the F1LE, the ZL1 right here, I actually purchased OEM ZL1 1LE wheels, which bolted perfectly onto the hub of the base ZL1. It's designed that way. Now, if I were to put the stock Trail Boss wheels back on here, they would sit flush right up against this hub. Now, the difference is when you go to aftermarket wheels, that hub don't line up. So when you go to mount your aftermarket wheel, you have this massive space in between the new bore and the stock hub. Now, most of the time, if you're using lug nuts like this that have that acorn end on it, this will center that wheel onto the hub to keep it from vibrating. But for whatever reason, I got a little bit of vibration out of my front end and I wasn't too happy about it. Now, the issue I had gave me the opportunity to pick up a new tool. So I got myself a digital caliper finally. I've always wanted one of these. So what I did was I measured my stock hub and then I measured my aftermarket wheel to make sure that I was getting the right size of hub-centric ring. Now, before we hop into showing you the measurement, I gotta show you something pretty dang cool. Now, if you remember back a few weeks ago, we tried out this new light called an Olight. Now, it's a very premium, really good flashlight. And one thing I didn't expect is how much I was really going to use that sucker over and over. Now, this thing's been out in my garage and I use it nearly every single night when I come out here to find whatever. The Olight Heron 2, really cool, magnetic. You can stick it really anywhere and it's got a magnetic charger. And to be completely transparent, I still have not charged this since the day I bought it. One thing I did not anticipate was how many comments I got. And a lot of you guys actually use this stuff for your professional job. Now, the reason I'm bringing this to you today is, like a lot of companies, guys, Olight's having a Black Friday sale. 24th of November at 8 p.m. It begins through the 29th of November, so you have to act quick. Now, two of the lights I wanted to show you quick was the new swivel and the Banton 3. This Banton 3 is actually really cool because this is something I'm gonna go ahead and leave in that Trail Boss because this little case it sits in continues to charge the light over and over. And then the swivel here is really convenient because you can stick this thing really on anything, as we're gonna do here in just a second in that wheel hub because it is getting pretty dark out. So guys, link in description below. I don't bring you anything that I truly don't use myself and don't have passion for. These are phenomenal flashlights. These are affiliate links, so if you do make a purchase off these links, I see a small commission from that sale. So it's a great way to support the channel by getting yourself a pretty dang good flashlight. Take my word for it, these are phenomenal. So guys, when I had this issue, it was a good opportunity for me to go pick up a new tool, and I finally picked myself up a digital caliper. Now, what I measured on my hub and on the bore of the wheel was a 78.1 millimeters to 106 millimeters was the gap between the bore on my hub and the bore on the inside of the wheel. So, by the way, guys, the greatest cameraman in the world is back on the vlog. Say hello.
Hello.
Awesome. So I was able to use my new digital caliper tool, then buy myself a set of hub-centric rings. These are aluminum. They do come in aluminum or plastic. And I got mine from Amazon.com. This is the cheapest part really of any wheel and tire install, and it's something that you should not overlook. Now, when you get your new hub-centric rings, you need to make sure that this sits perfectly flush on that hub. If there's any play at all, these aren't doing you any favors. On top of that, these need to also be flush on your wheel. So finding the exact right size is the most critical part of it. Now look at that gap, how much space that feels. Now, when I installed this on all four wheels and tires, this took away the vibration I was feeling at highway speeds. And I have that peace of mind that my family is safe in this massive truck. So hub-centric rings, guys, what you can do, you can either look up online for the size of the hub. You can get these in aluminum and different alloys, but they also make these in plastic. Now, the size of this one, I don't know if I'd recommend plastic. There have been cases in forums saying that these will seize on to the steel, given they are different metals, how they react together, and it creates corrosion and whatnot. Now, if this does does seize on, I'll use fire and get it off.
Holy shnikes, it worked.
I'm more comfortable having an aluminum alloy versus a little piece of plastic. If you guys are doing this for yourself, if you're buying aftermarket wheels and tires, please do yourself a favor, take that extra step, get yourself some Centric Rings. Don't be an idiot like me. So an important update for you guys. We've gone through 2 full tanks of gas. Actually, no, 3 now. 3 full tanks of gas. And unfortunately, my original calculation of 15.4 miles per gallon is inaccurate. The last 2 tanks of this truck, I am now 14.5 miles per gallon because this is now my mileage. This truck used to get 17.6 like clockwork. Installed the Pulsar LT, lost quite a bit, threw 35s in there and a 2-inch lift, and we're now sitting at 14.5 miles per gallon, which is obviously the most important thing. A little bit of an update for you there. The world's greatest cameraman wants McDonald's. I'm pretty sure him and his brother have been talking about unionizing. All right, so on the inside, guys, as you saw before, that huge gap in between the bore of the wheel and the hub of the truck, this fills that gap there, and now we have a nice flush anti-vibration mounted surface for us to put our lug nuts on. We know everything is centered perfectly. Now, speaking of lug nuts, hey, you like my new flashlight? Good? So what do you guys think today? Earn McDonald's? Clear.
Hey, that's nice.
Push and then push.
There you go.
Oh!
Hi.
What I am doing is retorquing all 4 tires, even though I didn't touch any of these 3. It's a good practice to have, just to make sure you are safe, especially if she's driving with those 2. All right, we're all torqued, ready to go. Coming down. No babies. A good job?
Yeah.
So hopefully this is relatively educational. It wasn't crazy, action-packed or anything. Brian, it was a pleasure to meet you this morning, dude. That being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, I think he's pointing at my knees right now. If you guys have found this relatively helpful, smash that like button below. Helps me out, helps the channel out, helps these 2 go to college one day. Not really, but subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the notification bell. We'll see you in a few days for our next video. Until that day comes, we'll be cruising in the Trail Boss. Y'all take care. We hope. Aloha. Good job, buddy. McDonald's.
Yeah. And pizza and ketchup and a chicken nugget.
Wow. See you guys next week. Shoots.